Ho mai. Ho mai. Ho mai. Ho mai ka iki mai luna mai. Ona mea huna no awe mele. Ho mai. Ho mai. Ho mai. Ho mai ka iki mai luna mai. Ona mea huna no awe mele. Ho mai. Ho mai. Ho mai. Ho mai ka iki mai luna mai. Ona mea huna no awe mele. Hele hoi akala o Malka o Kona. Hele hoi o Makai, wherever you come from. Welcome, Unity Church of Kona. Kakaiaka e koma mai. Good morning and welcome. And this is a beautiful start on a wonderful day. So as we start our prayer with a beautiful prayer, I have a new one for you. It's the Lord's Prayer. So as we pray, O cosmic birther of all radiance, vibration, and sound, soften the ground of our being and carved out a space within our presence, or within us, where your presence can abide. Fill us with your creativity so that we may be empowered to bear the fruit of your mission. Let each of our actions bear fruit in accordance with our desire. Endow us with the wisdom to produce and share what each being needs to grow and flourish. Untie the tangled threads of destiny that bind us as we release others from the entanglements of our past mistakes. Do not let us be seduced by what would be diverting us from our true purpose, but illuminate all opportunities for the present moment. For you are the ground and the fruitful vision, the birth power, the fulfillment, as all is gathered and made whole once again. Thank you, God. Amen. And with that, let's stand, please, and do our affirmation for the month. The affirmation for the month of January is inner peace. And now this should be on the board. Inner peace. Together. Peace fills me as I center myself in divine love. And so it is. Thank you, Patrick. Watching my back here. Now, as we get my singers on board, we'll do our opening song, Stand Together. Here we go. Something great is happening, love is taking hold, and it won't let it go of us now. Something here is calling us forward, upward motion, we're drops in one ocean, roll on. Will you rise up with me today? Lift up your voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. Live a dream of the highest calling, be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference, let's stand together. Share the gifts with the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's the moment for our greatness, let's stand together now. Whoa, every day's a chance you can do something amazing. You feel your passion blazing and shine. Paint with every vision and dance in new directions. Explode to new heights in your mind. 'Cause I will rise up with you today. Lift up my voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. Live a dream of the highest calling, be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference, let's stand together.
Share gifts for the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now. Whoa.
In one dream,
in
one voice,
one
one heart,
heart,
in one world, one dream, in one voice,
one
heart, in one world,
stand together,
and one dream,
stand,
and one voice,
stand,
and one heart,
stand,
in one world,
stand together.
and live a dream of your highest calling.
Be the hope of the new day dawning. We're the ones who can make the difference. Let's stand together. Share gifts for the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness. Let's stand together now.
Woohoo! And as we're all standing, greet each other with a handshake or hug. You've meeting us online? Well, please, virtually viewers, leave a comment so that we can properly, formally greet everybody, welcoming you by saying together a great big aloha and God bless you. And so it is. Thank you so much for joining us on this beautiful Sunday morning. And as we get started into the service, I have just a few announcements, but first and foremost, we are a prayer ministry. And as we all know that prayer works in our lives, you can download this You Pray app for your iPhone and Android. And with this app, you can actually send your prayer request directly to Silent Unity, and if you choose, receive a response from them. In addition, you can listen to very short meditations and view many affirmations and make that connection with your prayer service, Silent Unity. You can also call the church for prayer support at any time. Please do, 808-322-0885. And or send us the email at theunityofkona@gmail.com, and we will pray over prayer requests here, and then they will be sent on to Silent Unity for the 30 consecutive days of prayer. So with that, we have a few announcements. As we're getting ready for our board meeting, we have extra announcements. This will be the annual membership renewal. And so let me get right into Volunteer of the Month. And for the month of January, here we are. Thank you, Rod Sword, who has been volunteering. He's the Volunteer of the Month this month. Thank you so much, Rod. Rod has offered his expertise in the accounting and financial areas of the church, and his dedication and thoughtful insight into the financial matters are taken by our ohana is greatly appreciated. So we wish them the very best as what life has to offer, and sending heartfelt gratitude to both you, Rod, and Delana. So my friends, hopefully you get back to the island soon. Aloha. The annual membership renewal is coming up, so please remember to remain an active membership. Your rights member must indicate a desire to remain a member by completing and returning the church a yearly membership renewal card. If no current membership card is on the files, then prior to the annual membership meeting, which is coming up now February 28th, 2021, that person becomes inactive and cannot serve on the Board of Trustees or vote at any of the membership meetings. So membership cards have been attached to the newsletter, and so if you can, please mail those membership cards back. The mailing address is on file. Kindly return the cards to us. Bring them here to the church also works, but get them here before February 21st at the latest. And so the annual membership renewal. And as the new members class is now set up for February 6th, Reverend Eric will be holding the new members class, and anyone interested in becoming an active member here at the Unity of Kona and who is not already an active member will need to take the new members class. So the class will be held via Zoom. And so the Zoom from 9 a.m. till noon, an hour break, and then from 1 until 4. And so this is it's a nice broke up little bit most of the day, but we got broke up nice. And so please sign up for this at the unityofkona@gmail.com with the subject line, New Members Class, expressing a desire to take the class, and the Zoom link will be provided to you. And we have a new feature coming up with the Spirit Groups. The Spirit Groups is founded by Mendy Audlin and is a comprehensive church-wide approach to connecting members, equipping leaders, and engaging our community. Spirit groups. Spirit groups can provide an opportunity for the members to grow spiritually, get more connected, get more deeply engaged in the community. Unity of Kona will launch its first group on Thursday, January 28th, 6:30 to 8 o'clock p.m., and that will be via the Zoom. Reverend Eric will be the host for the Spirit Group, and the program will utilize curriculum by Reverend Michael Goat, Unity of Houston, and the book Discover the Power Within You by Eric Butterworth. This is a 10-week program, but it's fully supported with video curriculum, discussion guides, and other support tools. The group is open for 8 people, so please contact the church or Reverend Eric to sign up. So this is a nice small group, so everybody gets to participate and become more connected. A real great opportunity for our community now. So supporting Unity of Kona, please consider becoming a contributor and sharing your time, talent, and treasures with the spiritual community. Even as our services are online and virtual, we welcome volunteers for singing, playing music, reading the daily word, platform assistance, audio-visual, and if you have any interest in helping out in any of these areas, just notify the church, unityofkona@gmail.com, with the subject line, volunteers. Or you can call the church at that same number. That's the 0885-322-0885 number. And so we thank you in advance for all of these wonderful volunteers that keep this church moving. Without the volunteers, there wouldn't be much happening up here. So now as we get ready for the Board of Trustees candidates list, the bios are now being read online for 4 Sundays prior to the meeting. So that's why we're doing this. And so as we're looking for people to be interested in serving on the Board of Trustees, and if you meet the qualifications, please send an email to unityofkona@gmail.com with the subject line, BOT candidate. Right now we have 3 candidates on board. There's 9 seats and 1 is taken. So we have lots of room. Kayla Harvey has stepped up and she's been sitting on the board now for a little while as an interim board member. And so her bio is Kayla and her husband, Patrick. They've been members here at the Unity Church of Kona for just over 6 years. And they attended the Unity of Minnesota prior to moving to Hawaii. Kayla is a licensed mental health counselor, an LMHC, motivational speaker, and a quantum healing hypnosis technique, which is a QHHT practitioner. And for the past 6 years, she has been the leader of our youth group here at the Unity of Kona. She has loved every minute of it and has recently heard the call to work towards licensed Unity teacher, an LUT certification, and as a way to grow herself spiritual knowledge as well as connection and becoming a better leader for our congregation. Her hope is to continue to provide workshops, spiritual talks, and assist the community in sustaining and then growing in its spiritual mission. Kayla loves Unity and this ohana with all her heart and will continue to do everything she can to see it thrive. So Kayla, thank you so much for stepping up. Well, Jim Carey, that's me, and I am honored to be part of this community. I first found the Unity of Jacksonville, Florida when I was 15 and found the Unity principles resonated as truth. And all the seeking that I've done, seeking for truth, I've studied many paths. Healing light is truth. Prayer works, truth. God is truth. And I have been a member here, I've been a member at the Unity in Crystal Lake, Illinois for 5 years before I came here. And then in 2012, I started visiting here and became a member in 2015. It's been a wonderful opportunity for me to grow within a community, and being of service and spirit with God's greatest good and divine design is my prayer, and so it is. Thank you. And Larry Sire. Larry Sire is a musician who plays the guitar. Oh yeah, he does. And he sings quite well. The student of A Course of Miracles since 1988, he and his wife Carla moved to Hawaii in 2013. While he played music full time here for 6 years, Larry's now back over in Austin, Texas, playing and producing music. In his spare time, he writes books and novels based on the ACIM principles. His first book, There's Only One of Us Here, and It's Not You, is a humorous discussion between two people about the nature of the human existence, where Larry and Carla love the unity of Kona, and both of them have committed to begin the training to become the licensed unity teachers, LUTs. So thank you, Larry, for stepping up for us. And again, if you have any interest in serving on the Board of Trustees and meet the qualifications, please send that email, unityofkona@gmail.com. We have a lot of open seats on the board just for people to observe or to participate in any level that you're willing to. And with that, I get to set this aside. And we got just one last thing. Online services, please enjoy this now on the Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch, and LinkedIn or LinkedIn. Remember to join the virtual social hour after the service today. The Zoom link will be provided on the Facebook page, and so the comment section at the end of the service. And with that, it's time for the Daily Word, and we've got a special treat because Glenna is back. So for Glenna, please come do the Daily Word.
Good morning. The affirmation for today's daily word is, I turn my dreams into reality. I'll repeat it. I turn my dreams into reality. Some of the most audacious, bold, history-making events began as dreams, born in the imaginations of those who understood the promise and potential of humanity and worked to realize their vision. Even if my dreams do not change the world, they have the power to change my life. Today, I remember those whose dreams were fueled by their hard work, faith, and determination. I look to their example when my dreams feel far away and I'm running low on hope. I rekindle my dreams through my imagination, which keeps them vivid. My strength helps me remain committed to their realization, and my zeal renews my enthusiasm to work toward creating the life and the world of my dreams. The accompanying scripture is from Joel 2:28. Your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions. The affirmation again, I turn my dreams into reality.
Thank you so much, Glenna. So sweet. So nice to have some people, guests in the church, and you can do this too. Just ask to come up and do the daily word with us, guys. And now's the time where we start our prayer meditation section of the service. And as we get comfortable in our seats, we'll do the visualization for the sanctuary. Take a breath. Hold it just a moment. Let's take this time to visualize the sanctuary of your soul. Visualize the sanctuary as a beautiful heart. Feel the loving energy of those around you, flowing in, flowing through you. See the loving energy flowing around every person, every being on this planet, in this world. And if you know of anyone in your life, in this world, in need of prayers, see them in the center of this most beautiful heart. As we say together, the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. And the presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. And wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Thank you. Thank you, God. We have special music today, Dondi, I believe. Yeah. Thank you, Dondi, for making the music for us.
Aloha is a promise. The sun will shine again, bringing fresh hopes and dreams with each new day that begins. Aloha is the sunlight shining through the darkness, giving strength to all we do. Aloha is His grace, walking in the sunlight, feeling the beauty of life, feeling the beauty of life. Aloha is His helping hand, His warm and comforting voice. It is peace be with you in love forever and always. Aloha is the mind, the heart, in perfect harmony. It's tenderness and love deep in the heart of Hawaii. Aloha is Hawaii. Hawaii is aloha. Hawaii is aloha. I love you. Aloha, Hawaii, Hawaii. I love you.
All right. Now is our time in which we will get ready for a meditation. Find yourself a comfortable spot and just relax in place. We'll get some meditation music started as we feel into this moment. Shut your eyes if that feels good to you, and just feel your limbs and muscles softening down into the chair and into the core of your being. As you feel the body resting in place, begin to clear the mind. Take a moment now to review the events and feelings of the past year. Recall the challenges as well as the many positives. Releasing what was, feel a deep sense of gratitude for another new day. Reviewing the year, we may notice something that's missing or something that could use enhancing. With a desire to grow and a desire to see greater good in both our lives and the world, an intention for change begins to emerge within. You may already have an idea in mind for what you would like to shift or create. Or you may simply be open and filled with wonder. Begin to imagine the wonderful possibilities waiting for you this year. You see something changing and good coming your way. Joy fills your heart as your goals, hopes, and dreams for the year play out before you. Knowing that all you see and create begins in the mind. See the world at peace with truth and clarity, leaving room for Spirit's guidance and input. We affirm that this or something greater is ours now. We take one more moment to rest here, knowing that all is exactly where it is supposed to be, and that all is well. In the words of Romans 15:13, may the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. Begin to bring your presence back into the room as you feel your body in your chair and your feet on the ground. Wiggle your fingers and toes, stretch your arms and legs, and open your eyes, returning back together into presence. Well, thank you for joining me today. I'm excited. It's a new year, a new beginning. In fact, January for many is a time that we spend reviewing the previous year. It can be a really natural time to take stock of the pitfalls and the accomplishments. See, this can be a very healthy time to allow ourselves to assess where we put our energy, what we want to grow, and what's been really going on in our lives. See, what we do with this info and how we proceed is sometimes hit or miss, right? We may buckle down and decide to set lofty or rigid goals for ourselves. We might create a new routine, or maybe even just a general mission or intention for just the month ahead. Well, however you decide to move forward this year, there are spiritual tools that we have at our disposal to help get us where we'd like to go. See, all creation and goal achievement starts with clear intention and visualization. And in this talk, we'll be exploring these spiritual resources and create a vision for both our collective and personal year ahead. Though this year has begun in a bit of an unpredictable feeling, we do have the ability to lean into our spiritual core and see a way forward. Yes, there are a lot of unknowns. Yes, things have been different than we had anticipated. And yes, there are some things that we simply cannot do quite yet in our current climate. However, this does not mean we cannot create a vision for ourselves. It does not mean we stop everything and just become complacent. Yes, it's important to take stock of our environment and learn to be flexible and dance and move within it. But it doesn't mean that we lose hope or the motivation for growth. You see, we all still have purpose here, and we are being asked to continue and find a way forward. You see, you don't have to know what's possible to be able to move forward. You don't even have to know what you want. But we do need to realize just how powerful we are as creator beings here and the integral part that we play with God in creating the reality that we experience here. How many of you believe that God has a plan for you and your life? Yes, I would say that likely all of us do. And we are so glad for it, aren't we? It's very comforting to know that we don't have to be in charge of it all. That someone else has a grand scheme image and that someone else is looking out for our well-being as well. But where do we fit into this plan? Because Spirit has a plan for our lives, does that mean it will happen with or without our input? Can we just sort of sit back on our laurels and let God do the work? No, I don't seem to think that's how it works in our tangible world, right? If that was the case, we could all just pop some popcorn and watch our lives happen as though it were a movie. Though that sounds interesting, it sort of makes us wonder why we would come down and incarnate in a physical reality at all then. I think that God didn't send us here to be passive observers. No, that doesn't seem to quite add up. In fact, Eric Butterworth stated, God can only do for you what he can do through you. You see, your participation is necessary. We had a speaker a few months back who helped us take a look at this argument of either determinism, the idea that our lives are all predetermined and will happen anyway, and free will, the idea that we have the ability to act on our own discernment outside of the constraints of fate. Well, this has been a long-held philosophical debate, and usually people believe that we must have one or the other, when in truth, both can and do exist. There exists both a plan for our lives and purpose, as well as the necessity for our action, input, and choices to make this purpose come to life. You see, we are the arms and legs of spirit, just as we are the antenna, tuning into, attracting, and projecting energy through our thoughts and intentions. Now, even intentions, however, can be difficult to create and set if we're feeling a bit lost. So what happens then is it's best to start at the beginning with assessment. So many of you might say, I'm feeling a bit unsure of this year, or I'm unsure my goals are plausible, or honestly, I just don't have a sense of direction at all. No problem. We can not only meditate and pray to go within and commune with spirit, to assess and feel into our purpose, but we can also use reflection-based assessment tools to contemplate this. See, when we evaluate our lives and the year previously, as we do, we take stock of what's missing, what we don't like, and what we would like to see instead. Whatever we find, or more likely don't find there, can fit into one or more of a few categories. You see, self-help guru Tony Robbins, who speaks frequently and gives workshops on Maui, described what he calls 6 human needs. Things that we all need in our lives as human beings. And they are certainty, and that's the sense of stability that our basic needs will be met and that the basics of our lives are taken care of and moving forward. Significance, and that's a sense that we have meaning in our lives as individuals and a role to play. Variety. We have the need for things to be different and exciting sometimes, right? Not boring. We have the need for love and connection, a sense of belonging, friends and family. We have a need for growth. We want to move forward in our lives, be expanding our consciousness and learning things. And finally, we have a need for contribution, to feel that something in our lives has meaning, that we are giving to having purpose and being a part of something greater than ourselves. See, I want you to take a look at these for just a moment, assessing these areas and seeing which could use enhancing in your life. See, all of our goals arise from an area that we would like to enhance. So maybe you say, I'm unsatisfied with my work life. Okay, so let's take a look. If you're feeling unsatisfied with the financial concerns or feeling lack there, it may be identified as a lack of certainty or sometimes called stability. If you're feeling that you no longer have movement there or enjoyment, then what you may be missing instead is growth or variety. You see, when we dig deeper and we can identify a need that is not being met, it helps us see the root of those desires that we have. And doing so opens us up to other possibilities and ways that this need could be met in our lives, even more than we can imagine. So you don't need to know the answer of how that need will be met in order to visualize possibilities. Once we identify an area that needs enhancing in your life or maybe in the world, where do we go from here? Well, this is where we get ready to set our intentions. An intention is simply a planned focus. It's where we inform the universe of our desire and willingness to engage something. It helps us allocate and direct our God-given energy where we feel it would do us and the world the greatest good. New intentions arise naturally. Thank you so much, Jim. See, I had an intention for more liquids, and the universe just provides. But our needs generally arise from assessment naturally. And we are fulfilled. So when we can take a look at these things, we can see what we're already creating with our thoughts in mind. We can help us observe where we're currently putting our energy. Because there's a lot that we do unintentionally. Yet our thoughts, our actions, and even our inactions all are a form of matter exchange and energy exchange with the universe. Transcendental meditation guru Maharishi Mahesh Yogi stated, "Wherever we put our attention on will grow stronger in our lives." Does that sound familiar? Yeah, it's similar to the law of mind in action, or the idea that the whole universe is alive with cosmic intelligence. Thoughts in mind produce after their kind. And knowing this, we can see what we're currently creating, and we can start to shift our mind with a declared intention and then start shifting our reality. Because all matter and energy is connected and one, when we declare an intention, we inform not only every cell in our body, we inform every element in the universe. So to begin, our intention does not have to be a major life-altering shift like, I'm going to become a millionaire, or going to radically change my life, or I'm going to heal everyone in my community. No, see, it can be as simple as, I am open to seeing new possibilities for my life and the world. Let's repeat this affirmation together. I am open to seeing new possibilities for my life and the world. All of what we're talking about today is about shifting our mind in order to shift our life and the world. Because as within, so without. And before even making any changes or seeing any shifts in our lives, we can begin shifting many things by just using intentional intention, affirmations, and gratitude. Now, we may not like everything that we're currently experiencing. That's kind of life. However, part of moving through experience is acknowledging the role that our current experiences have in our lives and why we might have attracted it to ourselves in the first place. So if something is still happening in your lives, guarantee that it means that there is still something there for you. This is true both on a personal and collective level. All in the universe has meaning. All is a part of divine order. Make an intentional practice of finding the good. Even if this is all you intend this year, is to find the good, it will create ripples in your world of positivity. Maybe there's a lesson for you in what you're experiencing. Maybe a message there. And if nothing else, remember, it can exist simply as contrast, providing you more clarity on what you don't like, so that you can really be aware of what you do want. So, we thank Spirit for all that we've been experiencing. And this in and of itself can be a transformational process. Shifting our lives is just that, a process, right? Intention and gratitude can do wonders to help us begin this process of shifting internally so that we can shift externally. What can we do when we're finally ready now, with our intention, to take this a step further, to move into more clarity, embrace our next purpose, and take it to a next level? This is where we use our power of imagination and visualization. Well, for those of you who've known me for quite some time, you know that this is normally when I'd be doing a vision boarding workshop. It's normally a time where we sort through hundreds and thousands of clip outs to find ones that resonate with us and create a vision board, or a visual representation of our goals, intentions, and desires for the years ahead. So we can create a practice of drawing this to ourselves. Now, other than being really just fun and a creative process, why do we get together every year and do something like that? Well, visualization is a very powerful and successful method of goal achievement. In fact, professional athletes have been doing it for decades to improve performance. In fact, the Huffington Post summarized research on this topic and stated, visualization works because neurons in the brain, those electrically excitable cells that transmit information, interpret imagery as equivalent to real-life action. When we visualize an act, the brain generates an impulse that tells our neurons to perform the movement. This creates new neural pathways, clusters of cells in our brain that work together to create memories or learned behavior. That primes our body to act in a way that's consistent with what we imagined. All of this occurs without actually performing the physical activity, yet it achieves a similar result. Pretty profound, huh? They found neurological explanations for why visualization works. And we, as Unity students, also know that although matter seems separate and solid, the further we dig into things like quantum physics, we discover that on a subatomic level, everything is just energy. This energy is vibrating at different rates and speeds based on its density. And when we visualize, we're getting our thoughts in energetic and vibrational alignment with that which we wish to see and experience. Visualizing our goals and our achievements, whether they are through meditation, the creation of a vision board, or just allowing ourselves to imagine possible outcomes, can be extremely powerful. Visualization is simply thoughts imagined. We all know how powerful thoughts in mind can be. When we visualize something, we almost take it to another level, one step ahead. Because visuals generally produce greater response, both physically and emotionally. For those who are born with sight, you see, symbolism is actually our first language, and thus images, both real and imagined, provoke lots of conscious and subconscious connections and emotional responses. So when we visualize, our nervous system and cardiovascular system respond accordingly. In the book, Creative Visualizations by Shakti Gawain, she does a great job describing the broad definition of visualization and shows how it's accessible to all. I'm going to read a really quick little excerpt here, and she helps us understand that we can all do this. She says, Many people wonder exactly what is meant by the term visualize. Some worry because they don't actually see a mental picture or image when they close their eyes and try to visualize. Don't get stuck on the term visualize. It's not at all necessary to mentally see an image. Some people that see a very clear, sharp images when they close their eyes and imagine something. Other people feel that they don't really see anything, that they just sort of think about it or imagine that they are looking at it or become aware of a feeling or impression. That's perfectly fine. We all use our imaginations constantly. It's impossible not to do so. So whatever process you find yourself doing when you imagine is fine. And this can feel really good because sometimes we're really hard on ourselves and we think we have to do things a certain way. But know that Spirit always provides a way. And if it's a tool that you are needing to access, you will be granted permission and ability to use it. So don't get caught up on the term visualize. Remember that however you imagine is perfect. Some naturally are more visualizers and feel more confident about their power to imagine than others. Some imagine possibilities and positive outcomes during meditation or even in everyday life, and it's second nature to them. Now, if this is not you, or if you just get caught up in daily living like the rest of us, using a tool such as a vision board can be a really good, tangible reminder. Because the act of creating a vision board in itself can do us a lot of good in helping refine and clarify your vision in general. For those who have never made one, I want you to know that the process can be as simple or as complex as you'd like. The principle in itself is really simple. All you do is you find images that display the results that you would like, whether they be the smiles on the faces of the people, things you're looking to manifest, or actions that you are looking to take. By creating and then using a daily vision board, using the images to prompt us to write, imagining what you'd like to achieve, and feeling into the feelings as though you had already achieved them, you are shifting your thoughts. You're creating new neural pathways, as they described, making yourself in energetic alignment with your goals in order to draw them even closer to you. It's important to remember that both manifesting and goal achievement, however, is a process. Many times when a process isn't working, we blame the process. But we often have to keep in mind that there's usually part of us that is blocking ourselves. Sometimes we have personal blocks. Maybe we have resistance. Maybe we have some negativity that just needs addressing before we're able to realize something in our external worlds. Sometimes Spirit, in fact, has different plans for our life. And sometimes success comes in ways that we didn't anticipate or we don't really recognize at first as success. This is why it's important to keep in mind the original need and intention for change. This way, we don't have to get so fixated on the results occurring exactly as we had imagined. Remember, you are an antenna open to possibilities. In the Advent season, we did a series on wonder and using wonder as a way to open our mind to possibilities. And we can use this tool in visioning as well. We can imagine and wonder into the many ways that our need may be met and enhanced. And we leave room for Spirit to revise that plan for our greatest and highest good in ways we never could have imagined. In fact, in this great little book, it's called, I'll put it up on the screen here quick first. It's called Goal Achievement Through Treasure Mapping. It's actually written by a Unity member named Barbara Laporte, who describes the process of working through our blocks and creating a vision board and practice that both pulls our dreams closer and opens us up to possibilities presented by Spirit. I have actually summarized the basics of this book and the form of vision boarding that she's describing, and I will actually post the instructions on our Facebook page for the Unity of Kona at a later time, so that if you choose to create a treasure map type vision board, all of the process is there for you. But you'll notice that one of the most important instructions that she lists is close to the bottom. She instructs everyone to write an affirmation about their goal and end it with, "This or something greater is mine now." It's a great way to affirm what we already know, bring the emotions into our body, and imagine it as if we already have it, because we know that Spirit is already in process of helping us achieve our goals, purpose, and dreams here. So in this spirit, we'll do our last affirmation together. We'll repeat this following affirmation and imagine its success together. So we'll say, "I see my life and the world coming together with purpose, prosperity, and peace. This or something better is mine now." And so it is. Thank you. I got a lot of stuff.
Thank you, Kayla. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. And I will be looking forward to that post on the treasure hunt, the treasure map. So absolutely something to look forward to in the week to come from Kayla. And with that, what a wonderful message. And we appreciate her energy so much here. So thank you again. And now is the time in the service where we would like to hold your gifts and offerings in your hand as we get ready to say our offertory statement. There are many ways which you can make your donation or contribution for which you are abundantly grateful. They're going to appear on the screen. And if you would please place your gift in your hands now, and together we'll join us in saying the offertory prayer. Divine light, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am abundantly prosperous in every way. And so it is. And we have some more music from Dondi. Thank you, Dondi.
So much positivity. Song today, like to accentuate the positive. You got to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative, don't mess with Mr. In Between. You've got to spread joy to the maximum, bring gloom down to the minimum, have faith or pandemonium liable to come upon the scene. To illustrate my last remark, Jonah and the whale, Noah and the ark. What did they do when everything
Thank you, Dundee. Wonderful. Don't mess with Mr. In Between. Woohoo! And so now it's time to bless this offering. And as we know that through Spirit, we know that as we give, so shall we receive. And that we now dedicate and consecrate these gifts to do your will and your work in this ministry, in our lives, and in our community. And with this, amen. And so today we'll hold each other in our hearts as we finish up our closing songs, Let There Be Peace on Earth and Aloha Oi. And in closing, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us, tuning in back next week. Please feel free. Tell your friends about the Facebook Live event and the service that will remain viewable here on the Facebook of Unity of Kona's Facebook page, YouTube now, Twitch, and LinkedIn. Next Sunday, our guest speaker is Nigel Patterson, and his topic is Freedom is Your Birthright. It takes courage, but are you ready to reclaim it in 2021? If so, join us here and learn how. Music next week again by Dondi. And so please join us for the short virtual hour after the service. The Zoom link is now connected, so you can click onto that. And let's finish up with our closing songs.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. And let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. My friends, join us again next week, and until then, a hui ho with Aloha Oi. Aloha Oi, Aloha Oi, Eke ona ona no, Ikalipo, one fond embrace, Aloe Aeao, until we meet again. Wonderful. Thank you, everybody. A little bit more music from Donnie as we close it out. Thank you again. Aloha. Mahalo.